Welcome to Ignorance Unleashed with your host Salvatore Cavalieri. Step into Salvatore's bold and unapologetic take on today's news and its impact on real estate. In just 10 minutes, enjoy no nonsense insights with a dash of humor and absurdity. Approved by his psychiatrist and wife because they agree he needs this outlet.
All right. Here we are. Good morning. Okay. So, we're going to get started with the news of the day. And today we're going to talk about condominium, HOAs. And then we're going to talk about development. What is the important elements for looking at development? And then we're going to talk about doing business, real estate business with family. Okay. So it's going to be interesting. So let's go and talk about HOAs. If you do, this is in Florida, if you do a search on the internet right now for news regarding HOA fees, you're going to find an incredible amount of news regarding this. Bad news, actually, especially if you're a homeowner, the owner or a condo owner, better said, of these properties. Okay. So what happened is about 2 years ago, I think it was, we had a side event in South Florida, a building collapse, and sadly, a lot of people lost their lives. But apparently, this happened because there were some overdue expenditures that nobody wanted to take care of. So, with that said, the Florida legislature changed the law, and now it's required to have mandatory reserves. And the process is being rolled out kind of in phases. I think in January is when finally the whole law takes into effect. So, a lot of condominiums are scrambling, to look at their budgets. They are doing inspections, and many of the inspections, the general inspection for the building, is not going very well, and they have overdue repairs in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, guess what? Someone will have to pay for that. And this is going to be the condo owners. And many condo owners do not have the funds for this. Now, the message of this is the following. When you hear the water coming and you hear the water sound coming even stronger, that means that you need to watch out because it's going to be a flood and you're going to be taking with the current and hopefully you're going to survive. So months ago, I told other people that own condos to watch out because the condo fees are going to go up dramatically, 50, 60%. Few listened, few cared, and most likely they thought that I was like we do just screaming wolf, wolf, and there was no wolf around. But yes, it is. So this past week, we're in November, from $500 per month in condominium fees, it jumped all the way to $800. Most of these properties are rented, and the rent, as you know, is fixed for X period of time. It's fixed. So now you have this incredible amount of new expenditures because of the new HOA from $500 to $800. I'm doing the math quickly, it's more than about 60%. So now they are in a bind because they have a fixed income coming from the rentals, and then you have now the new expenditure that you need to pay. So in many, many cases, the cash flow, if the cash flow originally for the property was kind of borderline, now it's completely gone. Gone. And very likely into the negative now. So, what is the message? When you hear news like this happening, go seek protection, sell your asset, or do something else with it. Maybe you move in if it is convenient for you. But a lot of the investors didn't do that. And now you're finding out that there are a lot of properties in the marketplace that, number one, are not easy, that they're not finding in an easy way tenants. Number two, they have a negative cash flow. And number three, the prices of these condos are steadily going down because the market is being filled with all these properties. So with that said, when you hear news, negative news, do something. Just don't sit on your hands, okay? So, all right, so let's talk about infrastructure, okay? And the city of Orlando, again, is investing a lot of infrastructure, new highways, new systems in order to accommodate so much investment that is happening in the area, okay? So now, so we have the expansion of amusement parks, okay, the opening of a new amusement park from the Universal family, and then we have the expansion of the Disney parks coming up, more hotels, more restaurants, more shopping, more of everything going on. So with that said, then the city of St. Cloud developed a new plan, and there is a new city called New City. The new city, the concept of the new city, it is to have high-tech jobs surrounded by very nice, urban landscapes, developed business parks, and also infrastructure that needs to accompany that. So with that said, if you're planning to invest in anywhere you go, try to find out where the new things are going to go up, and especially if what kind of jobs are going to come up. Okay, jobs are not made equal. There are some better jobs than others. Okay, no big science on that one. So if you have jobs that they are in the technological field, if you have jobs into the medical field, maybe you need to be close to those properties. Maybe you need to be close with those investments and then go from there and invest. Okay, so if we see highways being built, if we see also other infrastructure being done, the expansion of roadways, the expansion of water cleaning, water purifying facilities, don't get upset because you have more traffic. No, be smart and think, all these things are going on here. Well, someone did a study and said, well, there's going to be a bunch of people moving in. If there's a bunch of people going to move in, well, yes, it's going to be more traffic, but it's going to be more demand for property. It's going to be more demand for jobs. Other companies are going to come in. So it's prosperity called. Okay, so don't gripe about it. Take the opportunity. Don't look at it in the negative way. And just take advantage of it. Okay, so that's very important. So when you see a shovel going to the road or shovel being used to build something that is for the improvement of society, of the community, think in a very positive way and don't complain about it, and just go wherever, just find out there are resources for you to find out what is going to be built. Each cities, they have websites that you can go and check, what kind of new infrastructure is going up. And with that information, you can say, gee, they're going to build this much stuff. That means that they're expecting hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people to come in the next 50 years, and then, gee, maybe I need to plan something today for my generation and the generations coming up that are part of my family. Okay, so it's very important to pay attention when infrastructure is going up in order to have a solid real estate business. Okay, so now let's talk about family. Okay, so this is family in terms of real estate. Some families are very well organized, let's put it that way, where you can talk about your specific base of knowledge. Let's say, for example, you're a doctor, you can talk about some medicine, and the other family members will support you and will listen. And if they are in the medical field, you expect to give you feedback. Okay, not necessarily happens all the time. I've seen the most productive families are the ones that they have different fields of expertise. Some of them may be engineers, some of them may be doctors, some of them may be a psychologist, and some of them may be in a different fields of expertise. And all of them get together and all of them support each other. If you don't have this, you never thought about this, make your family get together productive, rather than looking at each other eating the turkey. By the way, I don't like turkeys. I think that they have no flavor. Anyway, I would prefer maybe a lamb. But anyway, that's another conversation. But so if you're around the turkey, Make the event productive, and talk about something useful that everybody learns, especially if you have younger people in the table. Don't gossip, in Spanish called raje. Stop rajar or start complaining what you hear from the politicians. So things like that. Just don't do that. It's a waste of time. Those 30, 40, 2 hours that you spend with the families don't want to come back. So I see that a lot, that the families get together and they don't talk. They just don't talk. They don't talk anything productive. They just talk about gossip. And maybe that's enough. Okay, maybe that's a good relationship. So why am I bringing this? It's because family, a friend of mine, very wise man, told me families are genetically designed to disappoint you. It was a very shocking statement. So I don't subscribe to that 100%, but sometimes it is. So in our family, so this is what it is. Some of the family may be upset for what I'm going to say, but I just don't care because for years I've been quiet. So there is one, and so in the families, sometimes we get together and I just have to listen to a lot of gossip, stuff like that. But interesting enough, some members of the family are not in real estate. They're getting into real estate. They just don't tap our base of knowledge that we have. Been doing this for so many years. I learned a lot throughout the years, especially from my mistakes. And what it shocks me is they are just quiet. They just don't say anything. But then, if you ask them, they come to you kind of bragging, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the other thing. Look, if you're a doctor, I will approach you and I ask you, hey, look, I have this problem in my body. And I want your sincere feedback to me. If you know that we have done real estate in the company for so long, seek the person that knows. Especially, I'm going to give you the most direct and most blunt, lobby answer. So just don't do that. So if you have kids, if you have family, teach them to understand what other members of the family do. We have a lawyer, we have a doctor, we have a mechanic, we have a paramedic, we have whatever it is. And we need to tap each other knowledge in order to bring the family up. Okay? Doesn't help anything to keep it secret. That's called ego. And I regret that happens. These family members now, they're getting into real estate and they're making mistakes that they're serious that I made when I was a younger years. And there was no way to tell them, hey, look, there is not enough lifetimes for you to achieve what you want to do in the way you want to do it. But it's family at the end. You love them all. With that said, make it a great day. Bye-bye.